Okay, now I'm just going to walk through the general page editor just so you have it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new page so that you can see all of the fields. But really, creating a new page is exactly like editing a page. The only difference is all the fields are blank. So if you want to create a new page, you just go to create new page. We give a page description, which is what you can see on that list that we were just looking at. So I'm just going to create Jenny's test page 2 because I have one test page that I already use. The browser title, you don't really need to worry about it. You can just copy and paste the same thing over here if you want, because this is something that I will do as part of the SEO. But just so you know, the browser title is what you see when let me see if I can move the camera for you here. So when you scroll over the top of this, see how it says Crater Lake, Travel Medford? The Crater Lake part would be what you would enter here into the browser title, and that's where that shows. And this is mostly just an SEO field. It also shows as the title when somebody is doing a search. So I'll give you an example. Let's just search for Travel Medford calendar in Google. So this calendar, Travel Medford, is also from the browser title. But like I said, that is something that I will work on as part of the SEO. So the header text, as you know, is the text that appears at the top here. So like Crater Lake. So we'll just put Jenny's test page. You guys know all about the content, so you can put in whatever content there. I don't think you guys will use this much, but if you want everything else in the page to be the same, all the content, all the images, all the accounts, everything, and you just for some reason need the page in two places, you can give it its own browser title, its own header text, and its own navigation name, and then have all the other content be the same by clicking this button, and then you would just select which page it was that you wanted it to mirror. But I doubt that you guys are going to use that content. Where this is used most is in contact pages, where we create just one contact form, but then sometimes there's contact us in a couple different places. But so that you don't have to edit the content in multiple places, would give you this mirror ability. But like I said, I don't think with how you guys are using it that you will use that button very much. Sidebar, this is where you can decide what sidebar you want to display, or if you want a sidebar to display. So for this one, I'm just going to leave it no sidebar. YouTube video, this is if you want a large YouTube video in the middle of the page, and I'm gonna go to my Jenny test page just so you can see. So see this bar appears here if you select that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it a nav bar text. So I'm gonna call it Jenny's test 2. Because we need to save it to be able to do any of the other things. So before you can save, you need a nav bar text, you need a page description and browser title, and then you can save. So let's go over one other thing about this before we save, and this is one thing that can be kind of confusing, but these two drop downs here are what allow you to put the page somewhere specific within the navigation. So if you want it to be a main page, when we turn on the drop downs for these, main pages fall directly under these top navigation items. If you do a sub page, then they would fall underneath one of those pages. So for example, if we have things to do as the top page, and then we have outdoor adventure as a page underneath things to do, and then we wanted Crater Lake to appear under there, we would make Crater Lake a sub page of outdoor adventure. So for right now, I'm just going to make this, I'm going to get rid of this altogether so that it doesn't show up anywhere for you. And I'm going to press hide from the nav. And this would be where you would use if you had a marketing campaign going on where you were using a specific link, but you didn't necessarily want people to be able to find that through the navigation in your site. You could hide from nav. It will give you a page with a custom link that you can use for your marketing campaign. So I'm going to use that one, and I'm going to press save here. And then really quickly, I'm going to go back to the page list just so you can see what I mean by a subpage. So this is the top level page. These ones are main pages, and then when you create a sub page, those pages fall under a main page. So Wine Trails is a main page. Applegate Valley Wine Trail is a subpage. And you guys aren't exactly using this right now, but when we turn on the nav and we have enough pages to turn on the nav like you want with the drop downs, then this will become important. Okay, so let's go, I'm trying to move my little screen here, and let's just go back to my test page so we can keep going down. So then most of this other stuff I think you're already accustomed to. If you want to put in just an image instead of a YouTube, you can do that here, and then it would have a nice big image like this. We're going to ignore the page filters for right now because we're discussing that tomorrow. You guys know about the featured image. Then there's two types of pages. There's a standard page, which is just content, so like your Crater Lake page. And then there's a listing page, which is like the places to stay page that has accounts listed under it. And listing pages can have the content above, but just if you don't want any accounts to show underneath, then you just select a standard page. I'm going to turn this off because that will be cleaned up in a moment. I think you guys are pretty familiar with the feature block pages. And then you guys don't have to do anything with this SEO area because that's what I'm going to do. And then this is, if you watched the sidebar video, this is what I was talking about. We will eventually have all of your events in here once we import them over, and you can select which events you want to display on this page using by theme. So then you can set the status as active or inactive. Inactive, stop showing it on the site, but we don't let you delete it just in case you ever wanted to bring the page back. So most of the stuff you do will be just active. And then you press save and you're all done, and you could view the page, which this page won't have much to see on it, but that's how you create a page. And editing the page is exactly the same, except for when you edit a page, all the stuff is already filled in. So that is a brief overview of how to create pages within the nav and how to edit them.